All right, everybody, welcome to the Dance Fit Hub. We are here this evening for another week of our Women's History Month series. It's week 3. I really hope that everyone has been enjoying it so far. If you're here joining us this evening, please put down in the comments, say hey, hi, good evening, whatever it is, so that I know that you are on and with us, because we have a very special guest this evening. I'm so excited. Our guest this evening is a highly skilled sound therapist and Reiki practitioner. She's dedicated to promoting holistic well-being and inner harmony. And I know that that kind of means weird things for a lot of you, but we're going to clarify that. And hopefully by tonight, you'll be able to kind of have a better understanding as to what this is exactly. So whether you're curious about incorporating these holistic methods into your wellness routine, or simply just interested in learning more about their transformative effects, because you're going to hear about that tonight, you're going to get all that inspiration. So welcome to the Dance Fit Hub. Nancy Figueroa Galarza is here this evening with us. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So you are retired, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Finally.
What did you do? What did you do before you retired?
Well, I was working at a Fortune 500 insurance company as an expense accountant.
Oh,
So I went from being an expense accounting to doing sound therapy.
fancy. Well, you probably, in the process of all that, you got exposed to a lot of the wellness side of it, I would assume, right?
Well, at that time, it was just about it was corporate America. It was about work, 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 do, work hard, play hard. And then at the end, it's burnout.
Yes. That is what the corporate world does to us. That's why I have not returned to that.
Mhm.
So tell us a little bit, how did you get like involved in this? I mean, it's not like your typical type of therapy. So what drew you to sound therapy and then to the Reiki practice? Because it's 2 different things, correct?
It is 2 different things. It is, but they are both healing modalities. It's just the introduction into the body. One is with sound and vibration, and one is through the energy, the hand placement of energy.
Mm-hmm.
But to tell you how I got into this, I've always been a spiritual seeker.
Okay.
And it's like in one form or another, always looking to the divine, to source, to God, whatever it is that's out there. And so I always thought about meditation, and I always tried it. And I was not so successful, all the time with the meditation, but I also knew that meditation had so many health benefits to it.
Mm-hmm.
So stress is really the number one killer, in the world, I would say. And, incorporating meditation was always, in the back of my mind and in the back of my mind. So when I was working in corporate America, at the end, I was very stressed, and I had gotten laid off. I worked for this company that went through, a lot of changes, and it was very stressful at the end. And I said to myself, I would like to find a place, to go and do some meditation, because trying to do it on my own, it wasn't really, it wasn't really helping me. So one day I looked on Facebook, and there was a woman on Facebook that had a workshop, like literally near my house. And I was like, I need to go check this out. So I went to go check it out, and it so happened it was regarding it was a meditation regarding the chakras. And I'll tell you a little bit about the chakras in a little while.
Okay.
And I was fascinated because I had never heard of anything about it. I was never introduced to it. And I was so intrigued by it. And I went to this meditation, and the woman led me on a meditation through the chakras. And I just fell in love with it. And I felt so relaxed. I felt so good. I was really honestly finding this healing modality. I was really in emotional distress because when you are so stressed out, your body is in distress, your mind is in distress, your emotions is in distress.
Mhm.
So she took me through that meditation, and I just loved it. And so it so happened that the woman used to do these lives on Facebook. And one day she rang a little Tibetan singing bowl, which, a matter of fact, let me just show you my first one.
Mhm.
So she showed me a bowl like this. She showed a bowl like this, and she rang it to start the meditation. And I was like, what is that? And it just went right through me. And
Yes.
I just fell in love with the whole concept of the singing bowl. And so I remember one time there was a holistic expo. Well, I'm originally from New York. The last 27 years I lived in Staten Island, New York. So they had a holistic expo, and lo and behold, somebody had a table full of them. And I looked at the table and I said, I want one. And how do I pick one? I mean, it
Right.
was like a little kid in a candy store, and I didn't know anything. And the woman said to me, be led, and you'll know which one it is because you keep going back to it. And lo and behold, that was the truth. I kept coming back to the table, and I kept coming back to the same one and coming back to the same one. And that started my singing bowl craze. These are called singing bowls. They call them Tibetan singing bowls, but I have a certification from the Vibrational Sound Association, and the instructor said they're not Tibetan singing bowls, they are Himalayan singing bowls, because the truth is that they did not originate in Tibet.
Okay.
What happened in Tibet was that the monks would use these type of bowls as bells.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
so, in their chanting, in their, prayer time. And so he's always saying, no, no, no. So anyway, I fell in love with the bowls. If that answers your question, I went over.
Yeah, no, I love it because I can see, and I'm sure everyone that's watching can see your passion for this kind of what you discovered, right? And I think it's really amazing when you discover that passion, right? Like for me, it's obviously dance and fitness, right? But when you discover the passion, you really also discover that that is your calling, right? And so
Exactly.
it's not work anymore, right? It's
Yeah.
not like you're helping others. So technically you're working, right? It's your business, but you enjoy it because you know you're bringing life back into people, right? That energy that we're going to be talking about in a minute. um you're it's almost like a rebirth, right? A
Yes.
creation. So I love that. I see that passion in you.
Yeah. Yeah. So sometimes, you know how when they say, like, a breakdown is not the end. That's what happened for me. I was stressed out. A matter of fact, I was feeling depressed. I got laid off. I was 59 years old. And I'm like, who's going to start looking for a job at 59 years old? First of all, I was so stressed out before getting laid off because there were so many changes. And, even there's always also in the workplace, there are toxic environments that are not even good for your health, but you got to make a living. So
Right.
even before I got laid off, I was already stressed. So by the time I got laid off, I was like, oh my goodness, 59 years old. I can't even dip into my 401k. I have to wait till 59 and a half. So, that was all very stressful. And I was very anxious, very depressed, very stressed out. And I actually, the day I got laid off, I went home and I sat in my couch and I just turned on the TV, just like just to zone out.
Mm-hmm.
When I found this, I found a way to help myself
Right.
because this helps your body to heal. The body is very intelligent. It's like when you get a cut, right? Doesn't it if you leave it, it just heals on its own. So this is just like instruments to help your body to heal. And the good thing about this was that I didn't have to like try to think of a mantra, try to control my mind and wrestle with myself. No, it was just like I just laid back and I was just they call this a sound bath. If you're just, like in a group session, they
Mhm.
call it a sound bath because you are bathed in sound and vibration. So this was perfect for me because I didn't have to do anything. All I had to do was show up with my little yoga mat and my little pillow and just lay out. In New York I used to rent a yoga studio, and then I would throw out an event and people would come with their yoga mats and their pillows and their blankets, and they'd
Mhm.
be laying all over the place. And the people that knew about this really flocked to it because they know about all the health benefits that this does have. So what I like about it is that there's no trying to control the mind, there's no chanting, there's no mantra, there's no like, and a lot of people always say about meditation, oh, I can't control my thinking. Oh, but meditation actually is not about controlling your thinking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the benefits of sound therapy, and then we'll get into a little more what Reiki is.
Yeah.
But what are
So
some of the benefits?
Yeah. So before I say the benefits, I just want to tell you a little bit about what happens. So what happens is that the sounds and vibration, they activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which
Mhm.
is the one that calms you down.
Yes.
So that's what these sound and instruments do. Now, this has so many health benefits. So relieving stress and anxiety, in a session of this, your breathing slows down, your heart rate slows down, the blood pressure goes down. One thing that I recommend for people that come regularly for sound therapy sessions is to monitor your medication if you're on medication, because if you have high blood pressure, of course you have to be on medicine. So
Mhm.
it's like monitor your medicine, because what this is doing is it's helping your body. It's increasing your immune system. When your immune system is being strengthened, well-being, you may have to take less medicine or whatever,
Right. Right.
So it's also good for pain management. It's good for anxiety. It's good for stress. Um, I have provided this type of therapy, the sound therapy. The sound therapy and Reiki, they're in the same family. It's just that with the sound you use vibrational instruments, with the therapy you will use hand placements and use the energy of the body. So I think I lost my train of thought. Where was
That's okay. So talk to me a little bit more about the chakra, because you
Okay.
mentioned that, and maybe a lot of the ladies in here do not know what that is.
Oh, okay. So
So-
that was one of the things that was on my list. I said, let me find my little list here because there's so many health benefits to this. So it also raising your focus and concentration, which I used to do in New York, was some sessions for children.
Oh, okay.
Especially, the children get very anxious, especially around, testing times. So I used to do it. Was very good for concentration. So with the chakras, what it does is it clears your chakras. When your chakras are blocked, that's when you get emotional distresses, when the body, gets illnesses. So with this type of therapy, it opens up the blockages. We are energy. We have seven major energy centers in our bodies. They're subtle energy centers, which means they're not attached to your skin, or it's like the outer layer of your body. So you have seven major energy centers, and sound therapy, what it does, it unblocks your chakras. And if you give me a second, I just want to,
Yeah, if you can share that, that would be great.
yeah. So there's 7 major energy centers, and so they distribute the energy to every cell of the various organs associated. So they're not only, let me just share this bigger. Okay. Oh, I think I lost it.
That's
Okay.
okay. There.
So each chakra pertains to parts of our bodies. So we have the root chakra, which the color so you have colors and you have notes and you have organs that pertain to each chakra. The root chakra, starting at the base of the spine, is the color is red. And so when I was doing the meditation with this woman that I found, she led me through this meditation, and she would tell me, let's start with the root chakra. She would give me the color, and then she would tell me this pertains to this part of the body. If you notice the root chakra, it's for the testes. It correlates with the testes, the kidneys, and the spine. The sacral is right below the belly button is orange, and so it correlates with the bladder, prostate, ovaries, and so on and so forth. So you could see the chakras, the colors, and what pertains to which organ. And then here's another chart where you can also see how it pertains to each organ in our body also.
And so am I correct to say that looking at that chart with the body, that is where the Reiki sessions kind of come in, where I call it almost not like the laying of the hands, but it's where the energy, where you're sending the energy, right? Is that the
Yeah,
right?
exactly. But with Reiki, it's like the hand placements is just something, when you take the course, they give you all these hand placement, but really Reiki, anywhere that the hands are placed, it's really goes wherever it's needed.
Yeah. So my husband, I'm going to tell everybody a funny story. 1 year for his birthday, we had a dance studio in New York. And so one of our instructors there, she was a yoga instructor, and she said to me, I do these sessions, these Reiki sessions, right? And I'm like, what is that? I didn't know, right? She says,
Yes.
oh, it's so relaxing, it's so good. And my husband's birthday was like right around the corner. So she goes, your husband works so hard. He's so stressed. I really think he would benefit from this session. So I'm like, well, how bad could this be, right? So she comes. I wasn't even there, but he met up with her at the dance studio. She had set up the dance studio all nice and beautiful with candles and everything, whatever. Okay. So she does this session, and my husband falls asleep completely into a deep sleep. So much so that she had to wake him up. And then he could not drive right away. He was so relaxed. And we lived 45 minutes from there. So he was like, he called me and he was like, I am so like relaxed, like completely relaxed that I cannot drive right now. He's like,
Mhm.
I literally have to like wake myself up a little bit. But after talking to him, about his experience, he was like, it was just so relaxing. He just kept saying that. I have never been in such a deep state of relaxation.
Mhm.
So it really opened his mind to this type of therapy, and then soon after, like acupuncture and everything else. But yeah, so that was his experience, which I thought was funny, but at the same time, I'm like, glad I got him a good gift.
Mhm, mhm. And with the vibrational sound therapy, you get the same response because these are especially with the vibrational sound. I sprinkle everything with Reiki.
Mhm.
Reiki, I sprinkle with everything. If you're having a session of vibrational sound therapy, just know that you're also getting sprinkled with the Reiki energies also. So with the sound therapy, the bowls are placed on and around the body. And when you're doing a private session one-on-one, they call it a sound massage. And the good thing about that is that you're fully clothed. I'm not touching you with my hands. Some people do not want to be touched.
Correct.
So that's a good modality for them because some people just or some people say, don't touch my feet, or don't, you know.
They're very
So,
sensitive.
yeah, so with this, the bowls are placed on and around the body. And what this is doing, it is affecting you at the cellular level. The body has trillions of cells. So this is affecting you on a deep level. It's
Mhm.
also detoxifying. So after a session of this, I always recommend drink plenty of
Yeah.
water and to give yourself at least half an hour to integrate, to not to just jump up and jump right into, where you left off.
Yes.
Because it is a very relaxating, a deep relaxation that you are in.
He did mention he was like so thirsty, like he had been in a desert. He was
Yes,
so,
yes.
so
Because
thirsty.
this is, we are energy. So these modalities are moving energy around. Like I said, they're clearing chakras. And when the chakras are blocked, they create illness, emotional distresses, because as you can see, each chakra correlates to certain organs. So of course,
Mhm.
when these chakras are blocked, they're causing damage to, it's causing damage to our body. So how would our chakras be blocked? Well, we live in the real world. We eat the food that, that we buy, that sometimes they say it's organic, but we just
Mhm.
don't know how this food is being processed.
Correct.
We get into altercations with others, mentally, the stress of the job. So all that is creating blockages in our bodies. And that's why it's important to like incorporate these types, whether it be acupuncture, Reiki, this type of therapy, and believe it or not, also chiropractic. Chiropractic is holistic also, because they don't give you any medicine. They just do adjustments. In New York, I was going for over 20 years to the same guy for adjustments, and that was just for adjustment for maintenance. Not
Yes.
because I had anything going on. My husband was going because he had a car accident, and I was just going for regular maintenance. Chiropractors also treat children. I used to see children in his office with earaches. And
Hmm.
I was like, earaches? This was before.
Because it makes total sense. If you're taking a body, and if you think of your body as like your spine, let's say, right? Your spine as a hose, if you had like a garden hose, right? And if the garden hose has little, you know, little bends and little places that are blocked, the water can't flow, right? So the same thing happens in your body, because if your spine is not in the right place, if it's not adjusted, if your line, your posture, everything is not in the right spot, then things can't flow. The blood can't flow. Everything, your organs can't work the way they're supposed to work. So yeah, definitely I've done the same thing. I've gone to chiropractors when unfortunately when it's gotten bad. So I
Yes.
always wait to go. But I know after being seen so many times like chiropractors, I know already. I'm like, yup, it has to do with my alignment. Or if I'm fully stuffy in here, right? They come, they align you, and you're like, whoo, I was like blocked. I literally was blocked the whole time.
Exactly. Yeah, because you got all these nerves, running to the spine. That's why when you're doing any of these holistic modalities, right? They're working with the chakras, which are in alignment with your spine.
Mm-hmm.
It's up and down your spine, the chakras. Something else that these type of therapies is for, especially the vibrational sound therapy, is also good for pain management.
Right.
I
So
have
I would
I have
imagine you have a lot of maybe people that are undergoing or have undergone cancer treatments, correct?
Yes, matter of fact, there's a woman called Miriam Silva, and
Mm-hmm.
she had Hodgkin's lymphoma. She was going through chemotherapy, and because she loved, she's into all the holistic modalities, and she came to me, and she wrote about me in her book, because she wrote a book called Spiritual Cancer. And of course, because she was undergoing her treatments with chemo, and then she would come to me, because when you're undergoing treatments, those chemo treatments, your body is stressed. So
Yes.
you need something also with the vibrational sound therapy. It increases your immune system. So now your body is fighting. Your body is able to help itself to heal.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one thing. And then here where I live, sometimes I'll do like a meditation there. I've had people come that have undergone knee surgery. And I had a woman that came, she had knee surgery because what this does also, it speeds up the healing process. So if you had any kind of surgery, it's good to have, to get vibrational sound therapy too, because it'll speed up the recovery process. And she came and she said she felt numb on her where she had the surgery. And
Uh-huh.
as we were doing the session, she says, you know what? I felt like something moved.
Oh,
Of course. This is moving everything. This is moving all the energy. This is removing blockages. So she did that was something that she told me that, that happened for her. People also have back pain. I have a
yeah.
woman that keeps coming to me and she's got back pains and she's like she's feeling so much better. So, I mean, I always recommend because we don't want to be lopsided, medicine, let's work together.
Right. Right.
Because we're not going to say don't take medicine. No, because, that's part of science also, but incorporate
Yeah.
holistic, something holistic
I
in your
think
body.
for me, the way I see it, and I think we had chatted about this a little before, is that sure, there's going to be illnesses, that require medicine. Um, but if there's a possibility out there that I can wean myself off of a medication and possibly not need it for the rest of my life, I have an open mind enough to try it. And I think the ladies in this group, ladies that are watching, if you're watching on the replay later on, think about these things. Like last year, I was telling Nancy, we spoke about essential oils. We spoke about the medicinal properties of tea, herbal teas, right? So it's that same open-mindedness that we need to approach sound therapy and Reiki and acupuncture, things like that, all these holistic types of methods, because the idea behind all of them is to use nature and the natural energy that exists around, right? So energy is coming about from the billion, bazillion humans that live on this earth. We're all kind of exuding this energy. And so energy does exist. Now, energy is something you can't see, but you can certainly feel it. You feel it when it's good, and then you feel it when it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of you, when I have conversations with you, you're like, I just don't know what's going on with me. Have you ever felt that? Tell me in the comments if you've ever felt where you're like, you're doing everything right. You're exercising, you're, eating healthy, right? Or what you think is healthy. And then you're just like, but something's not right. Like I just can't sleep, or oh, my body is achy. I don't know why. These are the things that we're talking about. The I don't know why is that energy. Something is a little off,
Mm-hmm.
that you can't really put your finger on it. You can't say it's this, that, or the other because it's energy. It's your body is asking for help.
Mm-hmm.
And so these types of methods are ways that you can kind of see if it'll help. I mean, what do you really have to lose, right? I mean,
And you know what? These are ancient healing modalities. This is
correct.
nothing new. The singing bowls, they were in the East for thousands of years, and it
Mhm.
was only until I think it was the 1970s that they came into the West, and it became a big thing about it, and now you're hearing more about it. The other day I was watching TV, there was some show, I forgot what it was, and the woman was doing the quartz singing bowls on the show. So they're ancient healing modalities that have been around for such a long time. They're nothing new. you know
No. Well, let's take a pause and see if anybody, well, first I'm going to say hello to those that are joining us. We have Rini, thank you for joining us. Kathy, hello. Barbara, Yessie, thank you. Yessie is actually from Puerto Rico. I believe you're Puerto Rican too, right?
Oh, yes.
Mike was in the house. We have Marites, Julie. Oh, Tia Julie is on, my aunt. Debbie and Barbara, I think. Yes, Barbara. I already said you. All right, ladies. So thank you so much for joining. Put in the comments, though. We're not done yet, but put in the comments if you have any questions. And when we get to the end, I'll try and see if I can get you the answers. But in the meantime, I think, Nancy, you wanted to show us what a session would be like, right?
Yes, yes, I definitely do. So just, you know, you're just gonna just close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths and nothing else to do. Just breathe in. Hopefully my video will play and yeah, here we
Yeah,
go.
don't forget to click those two items that we spoke about on the bottom.
Oh, let's see. We're going to take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth to start to release the tension. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing yourself back into the space and taking a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Namaste.
Wow. I almost fell asleep.
I almost fell asleep too.
I swear. I was like, what? I gotta stay awake. What's going on here? But let me ask you quickly. So there's 7 bowls, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so those are the 7 chakras.
Those, yes, each one pertains to each different chakras. Each one has a different note. The lower tones pertain to the lower chakras, which is the solar plexus,
Uh-huh.
the sacral, and the root chakra. And then the higher tones, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. And of course, the heart connects them all.
Yeah, because I was gonna say well, first I noticed that there were 7, but I also noticed with every sound, I was feeling a sensation in a different part of my body, right? Because
Exactly.
I was trying to be very, mindful of that as it was happening. And I really did. And almost like it was like a little like goosebumps at certain points. And that's why when you said at the end, wiggle your fingers, I'm like, yeah, because I kind of feel weird, like
Yeah.
tingling. It does feel kind of
Because
tingling.
you go way out, so you have to bring yourself back. So
Yeah. And then
that last bell where it's kind of like, so it kind
yeah,
of like brings you back, because if not,
the zills, is that the
you
zills that you use?
yeah, those are
Yeah.
called tinctures. And so what that bell does is just for in the beginning, we start the session with it, and then at the end is to bring yourself back.
Yeah, I know. Because I was like, am I the only one that's feeling this way? And I'm like, I'm glad I did not close my eyes because it would have been worse.
Yeah, I was between opening the eyes and I might just fall asleep and then that's it. Yes. So
Yeah,
one thing I wanted to say, we are all vibration. Everything vibrates. We're all energy. We all are vibrating. Everything vibrates. Everything, in the world vibrates. And, we all have our own frequencies also. So
yeah.
we want to say that, with these type of modalities, it's raising our vibration. When our vibration is low, and you were talking about that the person didn't know that they feel low, well, your
Uh-huh.
vibration is low. We have to bring up the vibration. So that's also what sound therapy does. It raises your vibration.
Yeah, and I just want to mention to some of the ladies that may be familiar with the Drums Alive class that I teach. That is some of the research that it backs that particular program. This whole idea of sound and music therapy, right? There's been a lot of studies done on how the drumming sound, it's the drumming, not the actual beating of you drumming, but the sounds that are created from the actual drumming are very therapeutic
Yes.
for your mind, for your body, and for your brain, especially like Nancy was mentioning. And that's why even in some of my classes, I've had people fall asleep in the middle of the class.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, and a lot of people, when it first happened, I was like, are they okay? Like, what's going on? But um,
Yes.
in reading the research behind it, it was that it's a therapy, drumming, the sounds of the drumming. So in this case, the sound that she's creating in the bowl is therapeutic, so much so that if you're open, you're very open to that, you're gonna be falling asleep.
you know
You're
with That's
gonna
why I
be
say, like, with this type of therapy, like, all you have to do is just listen to the sounds, and the sounds are what are doing the work.
right.
That you're doing nothing. You're just participating. And the next thing you know, you feel, your eyes get a little droopy. I was at a nursing home in New York City twice a month with the for the elderly. And
Mhm.
also they love me there. They used to send me to the dementia unit, the Alzheimer's and dementia unit.
Uh-huh.
What that would do for the people with dementia, it would calm, the irritation. I mean,
Yeah.
even the most severe cases, at one time there was a woman and she was just yelling the whole time. And I said, no, just leave her in the vibration. And eventually she started to calm down a little bit. And
Mhm.
also, you don't even have to be able to hear. I've had people in a session that don't hear,
Oh,
but
interesting.
they feel it.
The vibration, yeah.
The vibration. And so with these, it's not only, you were talking about the drums, anything that vibrates, because I don't only use the Tibetan singing bowls, I use quartz singing bowls, I use gongs, I use chimes in my group sessions.
Mhm.
In my private sessions, I use therapeutic bowls, and this is one of my therapeutic bowls. This is the ones that go on the body, and then I would be just striking it.
Mhm.
This would be vibrating on your body. So any kind of instrument, that vibrates, um, does well.
Now, before I get to some of the comments that are in the group, how does this, as the person that actually practices it, as the instructor, right? Does this take, do you feel like it takes a little bit of energy from you? In other words, like how do you um, manage to kind of maintain your well-being and your energy levels while you're trying to heal others in the session?
Well, with this, there's nothing taken away. I'm receiving also. So
Okay.
as I'm giving, as I'm giving, I am also receiving. And there's other modalities. There's crystals that have healing properties also. So sometimes I'll use a crystal for grounding purposes, because sometimes I do get a little flighty
Right.
depending on the instrument. I mean, I have this big crystal singing bowl that when somebody gifted it to me. And when I first used it at the end of the session, I couldn't even speak. I was like, blah, 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 blah. I was like, what is going on here? I was just so like, my face was so like relaxed. I couldn't even talk.
Wow.
So what I do sometimes, I'll just, have a grounding stones. When also I use essential oils.
Hmm.
Every session that I do, I'm diffusing essential oils, and I only use grade A essential oils.
Hmm.
Because other than that, if you're using any cheap
Yeah,
oils, all you're doing is putting toxins in your environment.
correct. Correct. Yeah. Well, let's look at to see what, okay, so somebody said that was 100% relaxing. That was amazing. Someone said, wow, so I had Reiki done in the past and I felt sensation in my stomach. Same thing happened today.
Mm.
My eyes naturally closed, it seemed. Someone said, well, they were referring to Drums Alive, and they're like, so that's why I'm so happy after Drums Alive. Yeah, so all good. I'm glad that everybody actually participated in that.
Mhm.
So what advice would you give to someone who is considering trying sound therapy or Reiki for the first time? Are there certain things that they should know?
Well, you know what? With sound therapy, even if you're not open to the idea, it's going to work for you physically. Now, with the Reiki, you have to be open because the practitioner has to ask permission
Okay.
to be able to work on the person. But with the vibrational sound therapy, I always tell people, like try it, and I had a woman that came to me. She didn't know anything about it, but was recommended with a friend. And
Mhm.
and she said, oh yeah, I was debating between a regular massage and this. And I was like, you know what? If I had the choice, not because I do vibrational sound therapy, but you go for a massage, even though massages are also therapeutic,
Sure.
but with the sound therapy, you're really getting in there to down to the cellular level. I've had people fall asleep well, the majority of the people fall asleep. People get so relaxed, and this is going to be funny, but it's true. People fart.
Yes. Well,
People
like in
fall,
yoga sessions, it's the
yeah,
same.
people
Yeah.
fall asleep and snore. And
Mm-hmm.
it's all fine because it's all relaxing. And you know, another thing that this is good for is sleep issues. I had
Yeah.
a woman that, I mean, I've had so many stories, you know, because I've been a practitioner since 2016. And I have many stories. I have many clients, you know, either in group sessions or in private sessions, and they all tell me different stories. And everybody's different.
Yeah.
You know what? This will never hurt you. This will never hurt you. The
That's what
only
I'm saying.
there are contraindications to the vibrational sound therapy. Like let's say if you have a heart monitor or you know anything, any heart issues going on, then it's really not recommended. Or you would have to speak to your doctor first. Everything that I have, you know, I have little disclaimers so that people are aware.
What about hearing aids? Does that affect hearing aids?
Well, you know what? They would probably take them off because you don't need them.
Yeah, no,
There's
I'm
no,
just wondering because I know a few people that have them, and I'm just thinking, having those on, it makes your ears more sensitive to what you're listening to. So those sounds are like, dogs can probably hear them from like far away. You know what I mean?
yeah, they would probably have to like,
Mhm.
adjust them or something accordingly. But if they took them off, they're still getting the benefits because this is holistic health. This is
Right.
not just nice sounds. This
Hmm.
is working the whole body. This is increasing your immune. This is helping you with anything that ails you. And of course, the number one is stress, but everything is related to stress.
Yeah, because stress causes a lot of the bad things that are happening in our bodies.
Exactly.
And it doesn't always show itself. Stress is another thing that shows itself in different ways. So you might say you're not stressed, but maybe your hips are telling you you're stressed, your lungs are telling you you're stressed,
Exactly.
heart,
How about your skin? When you break out with all this stuff, you know, everything happens on the inside. Do you know that you don't know that your heart is blocked until it's 99% blocked?
yeah,
Other than that, you're just walking around like nothing. And
exactly.
you would not go to the doctor and say, "Can you check my heart?" because you're feeling good. But
Yeah.
guess what? When it reaches the 99%, that's when you have a heart attack or you have
Correct. And
blockages
that's
in
why we have healthy people, right? You have people that you're like, wow, but that person was a runner, or they were just so healthy, so full of life and active. And then they die of a heart attack.
Exactly.
You do not know what's going inside your body, what's happening inside there. But if you are having trouble sleeping, if you have signs of stress,
Or
little by
pain, or
little,
any pain.
it becomes a blockage
Yeah, or any
somewhere in your body.
pain, any pain, any sleep issues, anything that ails you, these modalities, will help you. And you know what? If there's nothing going on, then there's just regular maintenance.
Yeah,
Who doesn't want relaxation?
I know.
And it's an effortless relaxation response, which means you don't have to do anything.
Just lay there. Let me see. A comment came through. This was used in my hospital for alternative medicine in New Jersey. This works, relaxing and calms oneself.
Yes.
All right. Well, it seems like a lot of people have heard about it. Um, so that's a good thing. And even if those of you that were like, what is this all about? Now you know all about it. Nancy does offer sessions, private and group sessions. So those of you that do live in her area, I think that would be an awesome ladies' night, to be honest,
Mhm.
to kind of provide that for your friends.
Yeah.
Or I'm sure she can do it online with you as well. So you can visit her website. She has a website at Nancy's vibrationalhealingsounds.com. And we're going to put that in the comments section so you can see what that is. And under Facebook, she goes under her name, Nancy Figueroa Galarza, and on Instagram as well, Nancy's Vibrational Healing Sounds. So those are all the different ways you can communicate with her. If you're like, what did she say about this? what do you recommend for this? Put it in the comments under this video, because Nancy is also a member of the Dance Fit Hub. So she's here all the time,
Yes,
looking at
yes.
all these, seeing all your comments and seeing all your posts. So you can certainly feel free to reach out to her and be like, listen, this is what's going on with me. Do you think this would help? And she'll be honest with you and say yes, or check with your doctor first before coming to me. You know that that's what I do with all of the guests that I have here. I trust them. I know that they are legitimate in their whatever their skills are or whatever they're bringing to you when I'm bringing them to you in here to provide you with information to, of course, help you to become the best version of yourself, no matter how it happens, right?
Yes.
So I do thank all of you for joining us this evening and for having
One
that
more thing,
open
I
mind.
do have a couple of videos on YouTube, Nancy's
Oh,
vibrational healing sounds.
okay, so you have a YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
the one I played was from my YouTube channel. I and the pandemic, I decided to do some YouTube.
That, we all did that. We all did that. Don't worry.
Is
So just
it?
put that in here, YouTube channel as well. So I can put the link in the comments for that. Well,
Awesome.
thank you so much, Nancy. I'm definitely ready to go to sleep now. Thank you.
Thank you. And listen, if anybody, is interested, like what I say is try it. I'm not pushy about it. I'm not, trying to sell anybody and push it on anybody. I just say try it
Yeah,
and
you
see.
really have nothing to lose.
Yes, there's nothing to lose. It won't hurt. So just, give it a try.
Yeah. All
Mhm.
right, Nancy. Well, thank you so much for joining us in the Dance Fit Hub. And thank you to all of you who watched live. If you're watching this on the replay, you know what to do. Put in the comments replay, so I know that you watched it. If you're watching this through the email that I'm sending out, definitely let me know what your thoughts were. Have you ever tried this? Does it sound like something you would do? And of course, I'll include that information to get in contact with Nancy. Thank you all. Have a great evening, everybody, and
Thank
see you
you
next
all.
week. Thanks, Nancy.
Bye.